all things YouTube shopping.
YouTube shopping.
YouTube shopping.
You have to kind of teach people where to go to look for the products that you're talking about or using in your videos. Well, they have this auto tagging feature now. Can read the links in my description box and it will auto populate the tags. They just keep making it easier and easier. Welcome back to the Cypress Room, where we dive deep on influencing with integrity. This is a podcast for creators, and I'm Christina Mascari.
And I'm Meggie Honeycutt. And today we're going to talk about all things YouTube shopping.
YouTube shopping.
YouTube shopping. Because if you didn't already know, YouTube has launched a new feature within its platform that allows you to shop items right out of the videos that you watch. And Christina has recently been a pioneer of this program. She even went to YouTube to teach a class on it. So we're going to get all the golden nuggets about YouTube shopping, and if you're eligible to use it on your YouTube channel yet, how you can earn commissions off of those items, what's even available for commissions, and all of the good info. So stick around for that.
Yeah. And you're giving me a little bit too much credit. I didn't take a class. I was more like a support person, which we'll get into. But
you were teaching people about the wonders of YouTube shopping.
I was mostly encouraging them to make content, which we'll get into. Yeah. So it wasn't more, I know you've seen me do teaching on YouTube, and it was less of that and more of just like, yes, and more of like a cheerleader, which I am excellent at. I'm an excellent encourager. I'm probably a better encourager than I am a teacher. So good thing that that's what they asked me to come out for. But so I don't know, we haven't talked about YouTube shopping that much, so I'm hoping like you can ask me questions and pull things out. But I've basically been doing YouTube shopping for a year, probably a little over a year. I was part of their beta program because I'm a nerd. And hot tip, if you are on YouTube currently, have a YouTube channel, whenever a survey pops up in your YouTube studio, answer it. Take the time to take the survey, because I have got put on different panels or got asked to test out products and whatever by just filling out surveys sometimes. And it doesn't matter your size or anything like that. So hot
tip for sure.
If you're into how things are made, which we all know, I love diving deep on like, ooh, how'd you do that? And how does that work? So I've always been so interested on just like how the back end of YouTube works. And so when they introduced the shopping, I'm like, this is really interesting. Okay. And it's the only platform where the products actually show up in the video, and you can tap the video and it will just populate on the side. And so you can shop through different things. So a lot of people are used to having affiliate links, but like on Instagram, on TikTok, you have to, first of all, you can't say link in bio because you'll get banned if you do. You have to kind of teach people where to go to look for the products that you're talking about or using in your videos. And so what I love about YouTube is that they're giving you an easy way to incorporate all those products into your video. So how do you get YouTube shopping?
Yeah.
Is that probably the number one
I was
question?
going to say,
do you have any idea?
We need to back up here because you got to tell people how they're eligible.
Do you know the eligibility requirement?
I think I do. It's like 10,000 or 20,000 followers, something like that, right?
I believe it's 10,000 now, but you have to be a part of the YouTube partner program, which I don't think a lot of people realize, because you could have 10,000 subscribers but still not be a part of the YouTube program, the partner program. So, and you know the caveat for that, right?
What is the caveat for that?
Well, we're in it.
We are.
So what did we have to do? Do you remember?
Yeah, 1,000 watch hours. No, 4,000 watch hours and 1,000 subscribers in
a year, a calendar year, or you have to have 10 million short views. Sorry, you didn't know there was going to be a quiz today, did you?
I didn't. Well, so is YouTube shopping, okay, this is another question, only for long form creators? Is it available for shorts creators?
It's available for shorts creators, but they have to be in that YouTube partner program. And so that's going to be the hardest thing for someone to get qualified that is shorts only content, because you have to get those 10 million views in 3 months on your shorts.
Yeah.
And so I've always just found, for me, I mean, I know there's people that get monetized through shorts, but we've found the majority of people that we talk to get monetized through video on demand, is what YouTube calls it.
Okay.
That's what I learned by going to YouTube. They call it VOD, video on demand. We always call it long format content, horizontal content. That's typically what we refer to it as. So those are the two caveats. You have to have 10,000 subscribers, and we'll double check that because it might be 20, but I wrote down 10. So I think I researched this. and then be part of that YouTube partner program, which means 1,000 subscribers, 4,000 watch hours in a year on long format content, or 10 million shorts views in 3 months. And so once you pass that threshold, the shopping tab will pop up in your earning statement, like on your back end on your studio. And from there, they have tons of different partners that they have Target, they have Walmart, they have PacSun, they have Hollister, they have Abercrombie, they have Wayfair, so many different partners that you can actually go into their websites and be tagging the products directly into your video.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. So tell us how, when you're forming videos now, are you thinking ahead of time, what can I include in my project that's available on YouTube Shopping? Or you just create the content and then you go through and say, oh, this, and this I could tag?
I think it's changed. So when this program first came out, I went back and obviously tagged as much as I could in past videos. The one huge partner they don't have is Amazon. So you can imagine there's a lot of times that I am tagging to Amazon in my videos. So has it made me conscious to not tag Amazon as much? Kind of, because I know I can't tag it twice basically. I can tag it in my description box, but I can't really tag it in the video. And what one of the features that YouTube Shopping has is that you can add a timestamp to different products. So that product actually pops up in the corner of your video when you're talking about it, which, and their research has showed that someone is 2 or 3 times more likely to purchase that product with that timestamp. So that's huge. And a lot of stuff is available on Amazon and some of these other retailers. So sometimes maybe I am linking more outside when normally I would link to Amazon because it converts so well.
Yeah.
In a business aspect. Hi, friend. Thank you for watching this episode of the Cypress Room. If you are a YouTuber looking to level up your game in 2025, we have an exciting partner that we want to share with you today.
What's the new one that we've been using?
Oh, Spotter Studio?
Yes,
Yeah,
Spotter Studio. It has been so helpful.
And it's specifically for YouTubers, and if it's powered by AI, you put your concept in there and it'll give you options to kind of like explode your concept, links to your channel so it can tell like what videos have performed well and give you suggestions off of that. And it will do like AI generated thumbnails for you, and then for titles too. But what I've really been using it for on my main channel is project management. So I can actually start, building out, if I have these ideas, start building them out, put due dates on them, like attach if there's a sponsor for that video. So,
and they have office hours. They have somebody that gets on there and gives you tips and tricks.
Sign up for your 30-day free trial. You have absolutely nothing to lose. And if you like Spotter Studio, which I know you're going to as much as I do, you can do a month-to-month plan, or you can sign up for a yearly plan and save up to 50%. And if you sign up before the end of the year, Spotter Studio is giving away $25,000 to help a lucky creator out there. Every time you create a project in Spotter Studio, it's going to give you an extra entry, but there is no purchase necessary. Check out our Cypress Room exclusive link to Spotter Studio down in the description box. And now back to the podcast. In terms of my content, I am making the decision to do not completely transition to shoppy type content, but incorporate it more. An example of a recent video I did, I was doing something at Lowe's where I was building a base for a dresser, but I had just gotten something really cute, like a little inflatable for Halloween, a little minion. And so in my video, while I'm going to do my shopping in Lowe's, I'm like, oh, I'm going to go hit up the Halloween section and be like, oh, I had to grab this cute minion. And I was able to tag that like in my video. So it's an opportunity to sell something that I did buy that really has nothing to do with my video, but I figured out a way to incorporate it. So that's something that I'm doing when I'm doing those like Home Depot or Lowe's videos where I'm in store picking up product. It's like, let's go look at the outdoor patio and be like, oh my gosh, these pillows are so cute. Just an aside that you would do in normal life. And then I'm able to tag it as a shopping piece of content too. So it's definitely changing the way I'm thinking about making my content. And I'm also making more specific like shopping type of videos, like 10 tips to decorate your house, or 10 items from Walmart home decor that I'm loving because I've seen success in converting in those. Those videos don't get as many views, but they convert affiliate sales. So at the end of the day, it's worth doing it because it's making money on the affiliate side versus on the AdSense side. Does
I'm
that make
glad,
sense?
yeah, and I'm glad you mentioned conversions because that was gonna be my next question is how many analytics are available to you on the back end to see how well your links are converting and to know, do certain links do better, worse, like
I mean, I think they're still working on building that out, and I am very hopeful of what it will look like one day just because of how great their analytics are on their back end on your videos. That's one of the things that I've always loved about YouTube is because I can really go in there and figure out why a video is working and why a video is not working. And what people liked about it and when they stopped watching and all those things, but they're still building it out. So I can basically see a video that is driving sales and I can see what my top products are, but you don't get analytics specifically on like how many people clicked this product link. They don't have that capability yet. But you can see, like, for example, a couple of months ago, I just redid my bedroom reading nook just for me. It wasn't content based. I wanted like a cute little chair and an end table to sit and be able to like have my coffee in the morning and have quiet time. But as I was doing it, I'm like, I can link all these products. So why don't I just create a video around it and show what Walmart furniture looks like, show that I actually have to put the table together, show what it looks like, why I picked out what I picked out I made a long format video on it. It didn't do great for my channel. I think it still only has 7,000 views, which is not a ton. So I think I earned $75 on the AdSense side. But if I go into that one, I've sold chairs and I've sold the table, or people just went to Walmart and bought something else. So that video has brought in around $500 or $600 in affiliate income for me. So I probably sold like 10 times that, but my commission from that ended up being like 500 or $600. And I'm like, oh, I could make more content like this in between my DIY stuff. So it's fun. I like being challenged
yeah.
and figuring out how it works. And they just keep rolling out new features in it, which is amazing because most of the time I'm putting links in my description box. Well, they have this auto tagging feature now that their software, their AI, whatever, can read the links in my description box and it will auto populate the tags in the bottom. So I don't even have to go into the interface and search for them. They'll just pull them up automatically and I can just check, yes, yes, this is in the video. This is in the video. This is where it is. Here's the timestamp. Add the timestamp. So that makes they're just keep making it easier and easier. I've seen the development over the past year. I know the work they're putting in it behind the scenes. So it gets me excited.
So why would you tell every other YouTube creator that they should participate in YouTube Shopping if they're already doing other affiliate programs?
If you're someone who's already super successful in affiliates, and specifically like in Amazon, it might not be like this great thing to do. But if you're someone who's linking, if you're showing people what to do and you're linking to things anyways, just having it in an extra space it just gives you more options to convert. And, being an early adapter in it, there were times where I'm like, yeah, but then maybe I'm getting a better commission over here, or I want credit because this was a partner video, or da da da. Like I have more access to the analytics for these links that I'm using in my description box. But the proof of the matter is that it converts. Like the YouTube shopping is converting, and those are sales that I would be missing out on. And honestly, it's easier for the user. And so I have to take that into account too. People don't want to be searching in the description box and figuring out because there's no picture. And with YouTube shopping, there's actual pictures
Mhm.
of the products that I'm linking. So I think it's going to be easier for my user to find what I'm talking about, and the purchase point for them is going to be less headache. It's going to be less clicks. So I want to make the experience easier for them, even though maybe I would get more credit or whatever using my links. I had to let go of that possessiveness and be like, well, if it's serving my audience and it's easier for them to find and I'm going to get the sale, it's a win-win for both of us. So why not just incorporate both of them?
Okay, so I'm wondering because I haven't actually ever clicked on one of those shopping links, but has it reduced your watch time? Because if somebody clicks on the link, I'm assuming it takes them out of the app to the product website. Have you noticed a reduction in watch time if people are clicking on the shoppable?
Well, you know that YouTube doesn't want that. So do you think that
Yes.
they're doing things to alleviate that from happening?
That's
They
my
are. I mean, there's
question.
no statistic to show if my watch time is down, but if you play with it on mobile, If you click that on mobile, it will still, you know how the video stays open on YouTube even if you're in other apps now?
Yeah.
Like, it'll stay open
Oh, okay.
and
So
the
on
video will keep
mobile it
playing
will.
while you're shopping. So I think the best experience for YouTube shopping is mobile. I think that's where they put the
Okay.
most. It's not as user friendly on desktop. And desktop, it opens a separate browser. So it doesn't
Yeah.
take you away from the video. So the video is still playing, but you would have to like go in a complete different browser to check out. But when you're watching on your phone, that video stays open and you could completely check out while that video is open, which
Okay.
I don't know when they made that update on YouTube mobile, but it is like a game changer for me
Yes,
because
it really is.
I used to not watch on mobile as much because, oh, I want to scroll while I'm watching something. It's
Yes.
just terrible when I think about what I'm doing to my brain. But like if I want to check something, oh, I need to check this email, but I'm in the middle of a podcast. I don't have to close the podcast out and then get distracted by my inbox and never go back to the video. So I love that they made that update that the video still plays even when you're in other apps.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
And there was one more feature I wanted to talk to you about that they just launched. So they, you know how LTK and Walmart and everybody has, you can put a Chrome extension on your browser. So that YouTube has that now. So if I just bought something or I'm planning content and I've shared a link, like building out what I'm going to put in my description box, they have their own Chrome extension now that I can hit like save to YouTube shopping. So then when I go into my back end and I'm adding all my products in, I can pull from a list that's like, here's all your saved content so that you're not having to search for it. Because sometimes the searching is hard. Even if you put like a direct link in there, it's just like these websites communicating with YouTube. Like sometimes things get lost along the way. So I found that tool to have to save products that I'm constantly using very helpful as well.
Okay.
So I like it.
So, do you also do your commissions? I don't know if you can share this,
I don't think I can.
but does it just get paid out with your AdSense? I
It
guess that's
does.
my question. Is
It's
that
very
how
similar to any other. I can't talk about commissions that each vendor gets because all that stuff is proprietary and they don't like you sharing that. So I don't want to get in trouble because I like YouTube and I like I like the vendors on there. So I don't want to get kicked out. But I don't know, and I lost my train of thought. What'd you ask me? Just say it one more time.
if your commissions get paid out with AdSense or separately?
They get paid out with AdSense, so it all just gets lumped in, but it's very similar to LTK and anything else that you're doing, and it takes like 60 or 90 days to get those payments depending on the vendor and how long they need that to be closed out before they pay you. And it's the same thing if somebody returns an item, like they're going to take that out of your like affiliate, and they don't really break it down. Like I would have to go into the back end and look at just my revenue overall for that month and see what came from AdSense and what came from affiliate sales. But those affiliate sales are probably from like 3 months ago. So can I even track back what it was? It's really hard when it's all like put together like that.
Yeah.
So I try not to get too deep into that because affiliate sales are such a small portion of my income, but it is a portion. And so I want to pay attention to it and I want to focus on it. And, I have just being part of YouTube shopping and like going to these different conferences and stuff. There are people that just create shoppy content. Like that is their thing. Like they are just sharing things that they buy, how to use them, whether they're something that they use or something that they just think is really cool. Like that's the only type of content they're creating. And that's not me, but I'm trying to incorporate like more of it and not completely alienate my audience. I'm like, we're going to do a DIY and now we're going to do like more shopping focused video. And now we're going to do another DIY because it's more sustainable for me because the shopping videos don't take as long. And then I'm not like forcing myself to crank out a DIY project in my home that I don't even really need to do just to create content. Why can't in between me talk about here's some things that I bought that I like or things that you could buy if you don't want to DIY. I'm just trying to like ride that wave a little bit and experiment with that content and ask people like, are you here because you DIY and you like DIYing? Or are you just watching this because in a voyeuristic way, like I will never do this, or vicariously, I guess is a better way to say that, which someone left me a comment. I just watch you vicariously because I'm never going to do any of this. I would just buy it. So like, why not give both options for people that aren't going to DIY?
I love that
Yeah.
idea. Now, did you, just for those who are watching, they know you do YouTube shopping, but have you met other creators who are doing YouTube shopping really well? Maybe just as a reference point, if somebody wanted to see like some other creators who are utilizing this on their platforms.
Yeah, and I think I've met most of them through this opportunity to be able to go out to YouTube offices in LA, which we can talk a little bit more about. But a couple that I've met is Kristen McGowan I met when I went out there, and then Melissa, oh, I'm going to butcher her last name, Mastrano. And I'll link both of them down in the description box. They're more home-based Melissa's lifestyle. So she's incorporating that shopping content a lot. And a lot of hers, which I love Melissa's, is because she isn't necessarily doing a call to action like click down here. She's just doing like a toy review for her kids and is linking it below.
Okay.
And so I like that her content is shoppy, but it's also not at the same time. Like you feel like it's more lifestyle and you're getting to know her and she's not trying to get you to click something and buy something. And I also met a couple of fashion creators that are doing long format content. And I really love how they're incorporating YouTube shopping into their stuff. And we'll talk about them in a little bit too, as well, when I talk about the YouTube shopping event that I went to. But Dana Perez and then Aaron, I guess last name is Ramirez. They're both long form shopping contenters and they're on Instagram too, but they do a lot of long format. And I've never met fashion creators before. So it was really cool to see how they make their content, how they shoot, and how they're incorporating those links and that YouTube shopping into their programming. So if you want to go watch them and see how a couple people are doing it, those are 4 recommendations for you.
Cool.
Yeah.
We'll make sure to link all of those in the description box.
Yeah.
Well, do you want to talk to us about your trip to California to YouTube?
Yeah, so I've actually gone 2 times. And so the first time I went, again, this is just from filling out surveys, you guys, how I got this invite. They do a shopping kind of like workshop tutorial type of thing gathering once a month in their YouTube offices in LA. And they were doing one that was home-based. And again, this is where I was introduced to Kristen and Melissa were there as the creators to give some insight on like, here's how I've been using YouTube shopping and here's how you can do it. And it said like that Lowe's was going to be there as well. And I was like, oh, I really want to go. So I paid my own way to go. The event's free, but I had to pay for my airfare. I had to pay for my hotel room. And my husband's like, this is like crazy. Like, don't you think they invite everybody to this? Are you sure you should be going to this? And I was like, I just really feel like I'm supposed to go, honey. I just really feel like I'm supposed to go. He's like, that's fine. Okay, I trust you. Whatever. It's your business money. You can spend the money and the time. And he didn't travel that week so that I could go, which was really sweet of him, and took care of the kids. And so, first of all, just being at the Google offices, YouTube offices in LA is like surreal, like walking up, seeing the Google, seeing like the YouTube play button and just being like, wow, this is like legit. This is a legit company and I am here. And the offices are so cool because it's built in this old airplane hangar that used to be, what's the guy from the movie that Leonardo DiCaprio
Howard
in?
Hughes?
Yeah, it's Howard Hughes's old airplane hangar. And they kept that intact, but they have built like the offices inside of it. So it is just like gorgeous. And I have footage of it. So I'm going to weave some footage in here so you guys can see it and not just hear me talking about it. But it was so fun and just being in a room full of YouTubers. So that was my first experience going out there. And actually when the Lowe's social media director went up there, he had this great presentation of talking about, here's different times of years where you should be pushing this stuff. This is where we see sales. I was like, oh, this isn't just like made up so your marketing people have something to do. He's like, no, this is data that we have of years and years of this is when people buy these certain materials or these certain products. So this is when you should be creating content around. I'm like, oh, that's so smart. He's going through his presentation. This is granted and probably in front of like 75 people on stage. And then he's like, here's some great like videos that we're seeing. And one of my thumbnails is up there. And in this, this audience of 75 people, I'm like, that's my thumbnail. Like it just came out. Yes, because I have no idea who this guy is. I've never met him before. I'm at this YouTube thing and I'm just like, oh my gosh, I can't believe I'm here. This is so surreal. I just love it. Oh my gosh, I'm in a room with YouTubers. And this guy's giving a presentation and my thumbnail, he had no idea I was going to be there. Is in his presentation and he's using it as an example of like, oh, this is the type of video you should make. And I was just like, see, I was meant to be here.
Well, now everybody wants to know which thumbnail was it?
It was the one where I did like a 80s coffee table.
Oh, we'll have to
and I put pole wrap
screen.
around it. But what was funny is I talked to him afterwards. I'm like, the pole wrap is from Home Depot. He's like, I know, but you used a lot of Lowe's like products in it too. I watched it. I was like, you really watched it? He was like, yeah. I was like, well, this is cool. And what's funny is this event that I'm going to talk to you that we went next, he was there. And so I got to see him again. And so that was fun to be like, hey,
cool.
how are you doing? And how's it been going? And have you been tagging Lowe's products? I'm like, yeah, I got this minion. He's really cute. He's in my front yard. Here's a reel I just made about it. So that was fun. So that was my first experience going out to that. And so I don't know if they got my information through that. I don't know how this happened, but YouTube reached out to me a couple of months ago and asked me to come to their holiday house, which is, I think this is probably the second year they've done this, where they bring in a ton of vendors. They bring in a bunch of top YouTube shopping content creators and just show them, like, give the brands an opportunity to show them all the things that are coming for like the big Q4 holiday push. I have to drink water. I'm sorry. I'm talking so fast because I'm the only one talking.
You are talking fast. No pressure to talk fast.
I'm going to slow down, Meggie, because this is why I shouldn't teach y'all, because I just talk so fast. I get so excited that I have so much to get through. So I'm going to try to breathe while I'm talking now. Okay, so I get this invite probably like 2 months ago telling me that I'm invited to this holiday house, and they want to bring me out to help with these creator breakout sessions when people are going to create content, and have me be the home person. So they're bringing in a couple fashion people, a beauty person, a tech person, and they want me to be the person who mans the home station and encourages people to make content with the products that they have at this holiday house. And I was like, what? I was like, is this real life right now? And the funny thing is that opportunity came about after I found out that I couldn't make it to the Better Homes and Gardens Style Maker event, which I went to last year and I loved, and I wanted to go again this year, and we couldn't make it work. And actually there was a conflict with something that I had, like, that was a family thing. And I said to my husband, I was like, "Oh, but I could miss the first day of this and whatever." And he's like, "I don't think so." And I was like, "You're right. I just said it out loud to get you to confirm that I already knew, like, I have to say no to this opportunity." And like, once I let that one go, this one came in my inbox like 2 days later. So just a little lesson to you that sometimes, like, when you have to turn down things that you really want to do, and when you make a decision that's probably best, like, for your family or your personal life, sometimes better things come around.
Yeah.
So it is really true. And they say, like, one door closes, another one opens. So that was the case with this. So it was just really fun. I got to go out there, and this event was just like the coolest thing I've ever been. This is like the quintessential, like, influencer event. Like, we walk in and we have like earwand smoothies, the Hailey Bieber smoothie
Ooh,
that
was it
costs like
good?
$20. It was so good. And they had all these different vendors there, and they just had these like beautiful art installations set up, and then just like product out that you could like interact with. I mean, I have a list because I would forget how many people were there, but just to name a few: Revolve, Abercrombie, which is one of my favorite clothing brands, Logitech, Lowe's, Rare Beauty. There was a whole Sephora experience that I got to sit there and interact with the Sephora experience and get some samples from them. Paxa and Hollister kit. Is it Quince? Quince? I think it's
I don't
Quince.
know. But
You have some.
I just ordered something for the
It's like
first time.
it's like the new thing. Did you like it?
I love it.
Okay, I'm excited about it. It was my first introduction to them too. Nomad Lane, which is some really cool bags for organization and travel, and I had never heard of them before. Um, Bobby Brown, Jones Road, BK Beauty. Have you heard about BK Beauty yet? I have BK Beauty brushes. I'm really excited to try. And then for like the home stuff, Wayfair and Our Place was there as well. So they had all these beautiful, just like, booths set up, and we get to walk in and they give us a card, and they're like, "Here, you just check what you want to try, and we're going to send you home with that at the end of the day." And everybody's like, "Is there a limit?" And there's like, "There's no limit." You're like, "What?" So we get to,
fun.
yeah, so you get to pick out any product that you want to try and share with on your social media platform. So it's probably like the biggest, I don't know, it's just like, I've never been in a space like that before. I know that's like normal for a lot of people and a lot of influencers, and I just had never experienced something like that. And I will tell you, like, Google does things with excellence. There's a reason that they're such a big company, and whatever, their staff was amazing. Like, that was one of the best parts, is I got to actually talk with people who like work on shorts and who are working on the back end of shopping, and like wanted to talk to me about my journey in content creation and how I'm integrating shopping. And so just hearing their stories of how they got to where they were, and then them wanting to hear us as a creator and how we're using the tools that they're working on every day. It's just like, it's so cool, because that's not something you get to do a lot in content creation, and having creators and brands and the platform come together and be sharing information and doing panels and talking about how can we improve this. They had a creator panel where people were talking about like what's working for them, how they're incorporating it into their into their content and how they're earning money, because that's, a big part of it too, how it's easier for their users and how we can make it easier for their users. And it was like one of those surreal things too, because we did that whole, we're interacting with the products, we're picking out what we want to pick up at the end of the day, and then we go in to sit down to have like the keynote from these huge like YouTube's executives, and they have like a little sizzle all about YouTube shopping, and they had pulled like a clip out of one of my videos, and I didn't give it to them, so I didn't know that I was gonna. Do I have a booger?
No, that was me. Sorry, I just had it.
I thought you were done.
No, just had it in.
I hope you keep that in. I will wipe up my upper lip because it gets sweaty when I'm talking fast like this.
Yeah.
So when we sit down for the keynote and the YouTube executives are going to be sharing everything to kick off, they put a beautiful sizzle together because it's YouTube. So they have great editors and everything, and it's all flashy and going through like what you like about YouTube shopping and da da da. And they pulled a clip out of one of my videos where I'm like, and YouTube shopping is available now, so you can click down and say, and I hadn't sent that to them. So I don't know somebody went through one of my videos to like go find that. That probably took them a long time to find, and I'm like, it was just so surreal. I'm like, wait,
that's so cool.
You want to use me to teach people how to do something? And I don't know, it was very surreal. And I hope it doesn't sound like boastful. That's not like where I'm trying to come from, because I have no experience in editing. I'm just a girl who one day decided to record herself and put it up on YouTube. So it's like moments like that, like I do have to take them in and realize like, wow, this is like super surreal and so cool. And I feel so honored and so like happy and proud to be here.
Yeah.
It was very cool. And then after that, we had a couple of panels with people just teaching us again what's working for them on their platforms and what's not working and all the things. And then we broke out into sessions where there was a brand panel, which I unfortunately missed because I was one of these creator coaches. And we went into this room upstairs and they had these beautiful vignettes set up, like one with beauty, one with fashion, one with tech, and then one with home. And they had tripods set up and they had microphones and they had ring lights. And it was just like, okay, go make content. Ooh. And it was so fun. Like my first session, people were like, a little like, I don't think I want to. Because we were going to have them share all their content that they make unlisted, their short. And then we were picking a winner for each like category. So it was like a lot of pressure. But the first one, it was like everybody was kind of like a little bit shy. But I got some people, encouraged some people to do them, and they made great content. Just like, it's so cool to see creators just be like, okay, here's what you have, here's your space, go. And for them to come up with a concept, film it, sit there, edit it, and then post it unlisted. They weren't posting it live for everybody to see unless they wanted to, and like tagging the product live and all of that and doing it like within an hour and just watching them go and watching them process. It was like the most fun. It was so cool. And my first session was a little bit shy, but then my second session, they were like fighting over the tripods. Like people were lined up. I didn't have to basically do anything. I didn't have to cheerlead anybody because they were just going for it. I was helping people
warmed up.
Yeah, I was helping people with microphones and with and unplugging things and moving batteries and stuff. And it was funny because like a lot of people didn't realize that we were just creators like them. They thought like that I worked for YouTube. And they were like, "Oh, like where do I do this?" I'm like, "Oh, I don't know. I don't work here. I'm just a creator like you." They're like, "Oh, you are? I thought you worked for YouTube." And I was like, "No. We're just creators." So it was funny. But it was so cool just to watch different people, like how they do it. Like there's some people that really lean into ASMR, and then there's some people that were just really talking, and it's about telling the story and how this is a gift for somebody. And then there's some people that are like, "Oh, I don't ever talk in my videos. I'm going to put music to it." And like, "Oh, I don't ever show my face." And it's so interesting to see how everybody does it.
Wow.
Yeah.
So what was your like big takeaway from this whole experience?
I mean, there wasn't a big takeaway. Is just getting to be around other
Yeah.
creators and getting to be around people that are actually creating the like the interface that we're using, getting to be around just being in Google. I have a funny story for y'all. So in between, after my first session, I was like cleaning up my station because I wanted it to be clean for the next session. And I turn around and everybody's gone. Everybody's gone to lunch. And I don't know which way to go. And I don't want to like go the wrong way because Google has like a lot of security. And like I could not figure out what to go. And everybody was gone. And I didn't want to walk down these stairs into their cafeteria because I didn't know if I was supposed to be in there or not. This is so funny. This is just like my personality because I didn't want to get in trouble. And so I like walked down the stairwell I was like, okay, I guess maybe I'll go down the stairwell because I saw a bunch of people go this way. I get to the bottom of the stairwell and I'm like, I'm pretty sure if I walk out this door, an alarm's going to go off. So I walk back up and I'm wearing heels, which I never wear heels. And my feet are like bleeding at this point. And I'm like, okay, I'm just going to go back down. I'm just going to go out that door. I go out that door and alarm starts going off.
Oh, no.
And I'm like, oh no, it wasn't a loud alarm, but it was like, oh, you're not supposed to be here. And someone comes around the corner. I was like, oh my gosh, I am like so embarrassed right now. I'm so lost. Can you help me? Like I'm with this shopping group. She's like, oh, are you with that event? I'm like, yeah. She's like, I think they're outside. So just go this way and go out that way. I was like, I'm really sorry I set off the alarm. She's like, oh, no worries. But I was like, oh my God, they're going to come like tackle me and put handcuffs on me because I'm stealing Google secrets or
Oh,
something. I don't know. It was so funny.
that's funny.
But I finally made it outside to lunch. And then I'm trying to think of like the last thing that we did that day. The last thing that we did, we just had one more thing where we got to pick our winners and we got to show their content, so that was fun. And then we had just a cocktail hour where like more people came that were part of the YouTube Shorts program, and some brands came and we got to do just like a mix and mingle and had lots of yummy food. So it was a full day from like 10 until I think we were done around 8 or 9.
Oh, wow.
So it was a long day, but I had so much fun and I met so many different creators. I still have a bunch of photos of people's names. Like I just kept taking photos of people's names and I need to go back in and interact with their content and find their content. But just getting to hear their stories and where they're at and all that. It's just like I love being around creators. It's probably why I like doing this. So that's my biggest takeaway. And that shopping is a huge part of content creation, whether we want to admit it or not. Not everybody can be a Casey Neismith or a Ryan Trahan or a Mr. Beast. Like those people can just make money off their content and don't have to worry about linking. But like an average person like me, I have to worry about affiliate links, and like brands are not necessarily going to work with you unless you have some proof of like, hey, I can influence sales. So I'm just trying to figure out how that incorporates into my content in the future. But I love everything that YouTube shopping is doing and I love having like a say in it. So I feel very blessed to be I still don't know how I got in this, but I feel very blessed to have the opportunity and share it with other people. And I have a ton of product that I was able to bring home. And so just brainstorming how I can do different content with it, because as you can imagine, a lot of it was makeup and clothes, which is not my shtick. It's not my niche. So it'll be interesting to see how I can incorporate that as people are getting ready for the holidays and doing less DIYs and obviously more shopping. And so not just trying to sell things, but provide people value for what they're actually doing in this quarter. Because no one's doing DIYs I mean, you might be doing crafts with your kids, but you're not trying to rearrange your whole house right now. You're just trying to decorate for Christmas and find gifts for people and have enough time to spend with your family.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, so for the person out there who's watching, who's like, wait, I qualify for YouTube shopping, like, give them the simple introductory steps for how they can get started.
Well, it's going to be really easy. What you want to do is go in and see what YouTube has already auto tagged for you. Because if you've shared links in your description box back in the day, it's already going to be populating on your videos and you just have to go in there and accept it. And if you have stuff like that that has auto-populated, I would go back into those videos and add timestamps to those specific areas where you're talking about that specific product. And if they haven't auto-tagged stuff, go back into your old videos. I would start with your highest ranked, highest viewed videos and go tag the products in there. That's how I started back in the day, is just go your most popular videos, they're getting the most views, and tag products in those and work your way down. And then as going forward, always make sure that you're tagging stuff in there and doing timestamps. Timestamps is like my number one tip because it is going to increase your conversions.
Now, is there a go-to resource that you used in the beginning to learn how to do it on the back end, or
No, it's pretty user friendly.
Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome.
And it's just right in your description of your video. And the thing that I would recommend too is that anytime you're doing shorts, that you tag a product in the shorts. Now, do not tag things that have nothing to do with your video and that aren't in your video, because you will get in trouble for that. Like, it has to be something that is in your video. Like if I bought something at Lowe's, but they have it at Home Depot, can I just tag it from Lowe's? Absolutely. It's the same product, but you can't be making a video about here's how I vacuum my house and then tag like a frame TV. you will get flagged for that, and they don't like it. That's misleading. So don't do stuff like that. Only tag things that are in the video. But shorts for shopping, I've seen like a pretty good conversion for the amount of time it takes to make that. And they can be completely off topic. Like last fall, I made an Abercrombie haul because I had bought a bunch of fall clothes. And I think I sold like $1,000 worth of clothes, which ended up being maybe like $100 worth of commissions or something. But it was just like a quick little video that I put up everywhere, and it converted. And it has nothing to do with my niche. So that's a fun way to play around with it too. If you don't even know what to start doing, start making little shorts where you're just showing something that you bought or showing something that you wear, or maybe doing your makeup routine and tagging those products, and see if you get any traction on it.
Now, besides not tagging things that aren't in your videos, are there any other rules of engagement or things you should not do when you're using YouTube shopping?
I think just be aware, like if it's a sponsored video, if they want you using YouTube shopping or not, because I've had some cases where I'm going through, if you're going through a LTK, if you're going through a Magic Links, if you're working directly with Walmart, they might want you tagging their platforms and not having YouTube shopping because it's going to skew the analytics for them. So just pay attention, because again, it'll go in and do that auto tagging. So just make sure that you're checking that once your video goes live. If you have an agreement where a company does not want you sharing YouTube shopping, that you're obeying that. But beyond that, I can't really think of anything that would be a red flag.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's good information.
Yeah. And my other thing too that I want to share is my touchy-feely thing is, there were other creators that were being these like creator coaches, encouragers. And we had all had like a quick call together before with the lead on it, just so we knew what we were doing and what to expect and what was expected of us going into it. And so I took it upon myself to be like, hey, I bet all these people are coming in the day before, but I'm going to try to get them together. And we had never met before. We had really been on one meeting together and never really talked. And so I reached out to all those creators. I was like, hey, do you want to go get dinner? And they were like, yeah, that sounds awesome. So we met for somewhere in dinner in Venice. And I think we had like a three and a half hour dinner.
Oh,
We've never met
fun.
before. And they're both fashion creators. So they do something very different than me. They're both very young. So that was like cool for me to hear how they batch shoot and when they use editors and when they don't use editors. And I have them on our list to interview both of them. So, and that's who I was talking about, Aaron Ramirez and then Dana Perez are those two people. So if you want to go check out their channels, I would love to have them on here and just talk, because their content is more shopping forward, but it is very informational. Like I just watched one of Aaron's videos and it was all about the best hoodies. And he tried on different hoodies and talked about what he liked about the hoodies and what he didn't like about it, and went through all the things. And he was able to tag a lot of the hoodies in the video. And two of the hoodies that we got at the shopping event. So he's just very smart. And so just being around other creators like that do things that are in different niches, that do things differently than me, that are different age, that have a different skill set, just being able to get together and being like, let me pick your brain and what works for you. And this is what works for me. And here's, just all those things. That's like my favorite thing to do. So I loved that we just put ourselves out there and went to dinner with strangers, and now we're not strangers anymore. So I think that's it. I'm looking at my notes. I think that's all the things that I have. Was that boring? I know I talked a lot, you guys, but I wanted to share the event with everybody. So I hope maybe you feel like you were there a little bit.
Yeah, I think it's good. Everybody likes to know a little bit of the behind the scenes, like information of what goes on.
Yeah. Also, this hat I got there. This is a PacSun hat, and I really like it.
It's so cute.
It's Dodgers, so I'm like a poser because I don't know anything about baseball, but I think it's so cute. And it's kind of like a wintry hat because it's like felt.
Yeah.
And it's like a dark green, and I love green, so
it looks good.
Thanks.
So is that your favorite thing?
No, it's not my favorite thing, but my other favorite thing I have right here, so I'm just going to grab it. I'm so excited about this. So these are coming out for holiday, and this is a brand called Jones Road. And if you don't know anything about Jones Road, it is actually a new makeup company by Bobbi Brown. So Bobbi Brown still exists, was founded and created by Bobbi Brown, who has a very natural makeup philosophy. Someone I used to buy back in the day when I was
original Bobbi Brown.
When I was a dink and when I was, fresh out of college and actually making money and didn't have kids and wore makeup every day. I was a Bobbi Brown stan, but I guess she sold Bobbi Brown a few years ago, I think to Estee Lauder. So she has a new company out, and I've known this for a long time, but I've never tried any of her stuff. And it's called Jones Road, and it's like the no makeup philosophy.
Mm-hmm.
And she has these lip kits coming out. So I have the lip kit right here. It is a pencil, it's a gloss, and it's a lipstick. And I only wear nude lips. Okay. And most of the time I've been so lazy. It's so hard to find a nude lip.
Mm-hmm.
You know. Okay. It is very hard to find a nude lip. So I mostly have just been wearing lip gloss, like a clear shimmery lip gloss for years and years. And on video, it doesn't look so good. You look a little washed out. So I was very excited that this is the nudist lip kit. And so it's a pencil, it's a gloss, and a lipstick. And I am just loving this. And this company, they emailed us and said, hey, they emailed everybody who was at the event and was like, let us know how you're liking the products. Well, I am obsessed with this. So I just wanted to let them know. I was like, I absolutely love these lip kits. I'm going to be sharing about them for the holidays. And they're like, that's so great to hear. Let us know if you would like to try anything else. So I'm going to put some other things that I want to try and maybe film some content around it.
I love that.
I'm excited about it.
You know who else loves Jones Road? Kimberly from Pretty Over 50.
She just put a video out on it and I was so excited. I'm like, what are the odds? Like, I knew I wanted to talk about this today and I saw her put that video up. I was like, I can't wait to go watch that.
Yeah.
And the BK Beauty Lisa J, she just put one out too. And I was like, okay, I'm going to watch their videos before I go back to them and tell them, because I've always wanted to try the Miracle Balm.
Yeah.
And so hopefully I can report back to you on what I think about the Miracle Balm.
Yeah.
Because I think on my no makeup days, which are basically almost every day except when we're filming and Sunday, I just don't put anything on. And I would like to have some products that I would just enhance a little bit and not have to put a full face of makeup on. So I'm really intrigued by these balms and like her mascara. And, you know, I love having this option of the lip trio because I can wear the lipstick by itself, or I can just wear the gloss, or I can layer all three. And I like having all three together. So I have been wearing them a lot, enjoying them. My daughter keeps sneaking in my room and putting them on as well. And they're nude. So they're nude lips. So she's getting away with it. And I'm like, that's fine. But can you please stop using that? Because I actually, I don't want it to get ruined.
Okay. So, well, my favorite thing, since we talked about Quince, which I think that's how you say it.
Quince.
So it has been that brand. It's a brand that I think they focus on what they say are luxury basics at an affordable price. So they've been coming up in my feeds forever. And I was shopping for family pictures and I decided to go ahead and order one of their crew neck cashmere sweaters.
See, you are always so good at this stuff. This is why you need to do lifestyle content. I'm so glad you're leaning into lifestyle content because you always know what's coming up.
And so I ordered this cashmere sweater in a cream color. I'll insert a picture here. And I got it it was like right at $50, or maybe I got it on sale for a little bit less, but normally $50. $50
for a cashmere sweater.
Cashmere sweater. And it is beautiful. I've never had like real cashmere sweater before. And it's so soft and beautiful. And I am a huge fan of basics. So I just loved the color offerings and the styles. And I have so many other things on my list that I want to purchase from them. But I kind of wanted to order one thing to see if the hype was real. And it is. It's super high quality, just like luxurious feeling, soft
That's
cashmere
so
sweater.
Well, they have a lot of leather too.
They do.
And you get leather next. And tell us if it's worth it.
I know. Like, and really like similar stylings to high-end luxury brands.
Yeah, that's what I've heard.
And it's all like they do.
Dana has some videos on them.
Really?
So you should go watch
her. Do that. Yeah. They have real leather jackets too.
And Dana is mid-sized, which I also really, really love about her. And she's just so fun. So
yeah, 5 stars.
Okay, cool.
Because beautiful, loved everything about it, and super affordable price point for very luxurious sweater.
See, and they had a bunch of stuff at the YouTube thing, but it wasn't part of our shopping. They had stuff out, and they had a bunch in the fashion pod, but I was in the home pod, so I didn't get to check out I was too busy to check out what they actually had and what they could try on over there. Now I kind of wish I would have taken a little time to go over there and peruse and try some things on.
And you know something interesting? I know we're talking about YouTube shopping, but Quince used to not be able to be part of LTK, and I wonder if LTK now you can link it on LTK, but you didn't used to be able to. And I wonder if YouTube
why.
shopping, like having it encouraged LTK
I
to
wonder.
bring them on.
You never know. I don't know how any of that back end stuff works, and I'm glad that I don't. But maybe most of the time. Okay, well, thanks for this indulgent episode, guys. I hope I didn't talk too fast for you. But if you have any questions about YouTube shopping, leave them down in the comments. You can also just search YouTube on their YouTube creator channel. They have a bunch of information about it because they want you to start using it and incorporating it. And I think it's definitely one of the easiest ways to shop and get your audience to convert on your content. So I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. Give it a like, give it a thumbs up. That's the same thing. Leave a comment, subscribe before you leave. Our favorite things will be down in the description box. As always, we're so happy that you guys joined us today, and we'll see you the next time in the Cypress Room.